Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 4. We fools counted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered amongst the children of Yahweh? And his lot is among the saints. I'd like to give all prayers and honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua Bahashem Rakakodash. The Wadi Yabashim Yahushua for giving us the apostles and the elders of great millstone, protect with honors, rightfully so. Shalom to the Aki, I'm pushing the word and sincerity and truth, being faith-based and being prepared for what is to come. And what is to come? Race wars, famine, concentration camps, the Al-Fadi checkers, the mark of the beast. 200 million missiles hit the soils of America. Simultaneously, the chariots of the Lord lift up the whole for elect into the chambers. Simultaneously, the chariots of the Lord shoot laser beams at the ungodly and the heathens. Rightfully so. Al-Barakazah, the Lord take the course of this video, guide it, and hope Al-Barakazah, He let it nourish the saints, the hopeful elect, with the nourishment of the righteousness. So we need to be nourished. We need to keep being nourished, because we have been nourished with righteousness of this truth. That's what's been nourishing us, this truth, these holy words in these scriptures. And this was kept us more. This is what been motivating us to go out, and it has built our faith. It has built our hope in Yahweh Shem Shah. And we're about to get up out of here, whether they want it to happen or not. We're about to be perfect, whether they like it or not. See what they didn't want is us to find ourselves. That's why Yahweh Shah said himself. He said, "Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Let's see if I can find that real fast. Right. The lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because the lost sheep. Because Salaki, I was just alright, because Yahushua he said, this is the people I want you to go find. You my gatherers. Right? You're gonna gather for me. Your mission is the saints, the 144,000 men that's being risen up, beginning with the apostles on down and their elders before them. They're the gatherers they're the gatherers for Yahweh Shah to the marriage. This is what's happening right now, man. This is what nobody wanted. And I was just watching the spirit. I was just watching a whole bunch of I don't know. It wasn't a whole bunch, but it was just enough to have me think what the elites wanted not to happen, and it's this: they didn't want this gathering. They knew it was supposed to happen. That's why they tried so hard to keep it from happening. They said once this starts, it's going to overflow. And I remember not too long ago, which I really wasn't in tune with it, but now thinking about it, there's a reason why a lot of things happen. Like there used to be and they used to have this place up in Harlem. They used to make leather jackets and all that, and they used to make leather jackets with fringes, like
like leather tassels hanging off it, and I never knew what it was about. And I remember I think my brother, my brother-in-law, someone had a jacket, and I ended up wearing it, and I always thought it was fly, like the tassels hanging off it, and I never knew what it was about. And now I understand, like those that represent the fringes, right? Hanging off the jackets, and and then you look back, you can see. I can remember now how people used to wear fringes hanging off. They did, that was not the time for awakening, and it makes logical sense because it still was a bad era. Drugs was all around, you know, and bad things was happening during that time, like the '90s. So that wasn't the time of awakening. Going into 2000, it wasn't the time of awakening because it was still corrupt. The wicked wasn't fully revealed. Now the wicked is fully revealed because what they were trying to do, this is what they were trying to do. They were trying to usher in the mark of the beast, but that wasn't going to happen without the saints truly being um, um, on the forefront. I was watching stuff about Shook Knight and all that, the music industry, Puffy and all that, and I'm looking at it. It seemed like that they was helping. They was helping keep the massive dummy down. And you can imagine how many briefcases was handed out. Just thinking about it, you know. Um, so, and then when you think about the apostles, how it was narrowed down, right? I mean, I wasn't there, but you put two and two together, man. You start looking at it, you start analyzing it. You say, wait a minute, hold up. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you hear that thought in your mind? Like, man, okay, that 2020, I mean, 2000 wasn't, that was a stumbling block because there was too much going on in that era. People was getting bodied and getting robbed and all that. I was just watching something about Shook Knight, how he used to rob people and shit. They couldn't come to L.A. without seeing him. He had all this, and who's behind him? It's like somebody behind Puffy and Jay-Z and all these people. You know, the Jew, the ish, the 1948ers, something like that. The Amalek and the gang. Alright? They're behind the scenes. These are the ones that calling them, the one that's saying that they're us is the ones. It's a lot of I was just meditating on so much. It was like a super duper, just a whole bunch of thoughts. This is and they're watching a brother, elder brother from Texas. I think he put the video up about Kanye West going crazy, about just going nuts. There's always some type of loophole they trying to stop us from getting this out, right? But right now we are counted as fools, but we're not fools. We're not fools to this, man. Salaki. Alright. This is on Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These let's go up. Yeah, we're just gonna start here. But the point is verse 6, alright? Because we out there on the forefront. Salaki if I'm all over the place, but I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. We out there on the forefront because this is the era. This is the time where the apostles our apostles now they wouldn't be who they are if they didn't have to endure all that madness and it's like absorbing all of the bullshit to give to us, right? To inform us, not to inform us what they went through, so they can understand that was not the era. This is the era that I represent one of those men that was going to gather in those bid to the marriage. Okay? And look, it says Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Yahweh Shah sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the ways of the Gentiles, right? And into any cities of the Samaritans, enter ye not. Alright? This is where we've been gathered at, because hey, this is a cycle that's being replayed out. And how do you know that Yahweh Shah is speaking to the men that he set up to get the gathering? The gathering is to bid to the marriage, is how this is truly about the scriptures. Is fight for righteousness according to the scriptures, according to the doctrine. The things that's happening now. Those that don't see, this is what Apostle Gabar, he said he said that Jews jumped out the car and said, we paid millions of dollars so y'all wouldn't get this. You wouldn't be doing this. This is what we didn't want happening. This is why we set up the rap industries. This is why we set up all these drug dealers. So y'all won't be getting this. This is the time now. The 90s, when I wasn't a part of this ministry. Because imagine if we was a part of it back then, we would have fell out too. Like I said, you know, briefcases was passed back then. I'm just thinking about this shit, man. Like, hey, motherfuckers was, you know, I'm being a young man at the time, and you know, you trying to be something like a rapper or something, whatever. Found the wrong crowd. You know, we was dead right now. Just because the Ish people, the Amalek gang, the Amalekites gang, they done paid out a lot of money to keep us from doing this. Now the saints is gathering the elect. He said Matthew chapter 10 verse 6, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. To the lost sheep. We were lost, now we're found, man. Our apostles, through the Spirit of Hashem Shah, had gathered in the lost sheep. Okay? The same spirit, this is a spiritual war. The same spirit that was in those prophets back then are in these prophets now. They've been gathering the flock. The flock is global now, man. Hey, they didn't want this to leak out of America into the streets of Europe. I mean, yeah, Europe, Holland. It's all global. This truth. This is what they paid money. This is why they kept paying all these rappers and all these industry people and whatever. Make sure they don't get this out. This don't get leaked out. Psalms 83, man. It was a serious amount of people that didn't want this. Yeah, I was just thinking about this right now. This just fell in my head, man. I remember that era. The Africans was all around in fucking, you know, up in Harlem, and you know, Negro women running up, hanging with Africans. At Bula, I don't know what they was, but you know, we scattered abroad. And then at a certain era when all the in the going to 2000s, when right before 2004 2000, when the Arabs have all them stores in Harlem and they were selling Lucy's, everybody was involved with this, making sure we don't get this truth, man. Keeping us dumbfounded, dumb down. Hey, we getting fixed right now. Hey, the apostle, who said this? One of the we being counseled. Oh, Yasharum, the Dallas leader. Sound like I can't remember some of my words. Yashawamba, he said that we need to be counseled, man. We're being counseled. This gathering is, the counselors has gathered us together, and we've been we've been cleansed with the words of this filthy world, man. What they've been trying to keep us from. How, if we've been scattered, we've been lost. We don't know our nationality. We didn't understand who we were. Now we do. That's why we can't be rappers. We can't be drug dealers. We can't be pimps. Can't be whores. Can't be weed smokers. This gathering, the Lord, the ones that the Lord's gathering, they not those that's doing all this madness is not gonna be invited to this wedding. So do what about Shemel Shah for giving us the apostles, from coming out of that madness, making it out of there. For can you hear all the stories they told us? And what we and what when you go home, you think about it. You like, what the hell did? Can you imagine all the thoughts, all the things that was done back then, and your thoughts, and then you meditate on it, like, man, our apostles been through it all. This is makes them experienced men. To be able to gather this great gathering for in the faith we have of Shemel Shah is amazing. Alright? It says Matthew chapter 10 verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And in Psalms 83 said that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. So how the hell the people that's in Israel is the ones that, but it says no more in remembrance. Yo, y'all been a veil been over your people's heads, man, but over our head. A veil has been over our head for a lot of years, man. Trying to figure out how to way to get money, and every time you look at the dollars, right? It got Esau's face on it, man. Esau's face, man. So we was lost, man. I was just watching. Shook Knight was going around robbing people. I don't know. I was just watching this. I don't know. It was spiritual. Just thinking about it, man. I could have been caught in that mess, trying to figure out how to be a super rapper and shit. You're right. I remember. It makes sense. We remember now. We was lost. Now we found. How we found through these scriptures. We found out that our nationality has been cleared. It's cleared up now. How can we go backwards and look for something that's not going to give us no salvation? This is what's going to give us a salvation, man. And these people is going to be amazed at this, man. Alright? It says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Right? It is at hand. It is, man. We almost out of here, man. You think people that were getting high, trying to or running around selling drugs, fucking other niggas' wives? You think they would look to the heavens, looking for the chariots? It was an accurate thing. You think the Puerto Ricans and the Negroes was getting down with each other? You think the Vato Locos and all the motherfuckers from LA who was gunning each other and that Mexico all gunning each other, they would look to the heavens for the chariots? No, it wasn't. Every day we look to the heavens, we see chariots. This is the time. From the 90s over to 2000 was not the time. It was still things that need to be tightened, need to be eliminated, need to be brought in. need to be eliminated. Things had to be happening up all the way up to 2007. That was, they made right in that year, right before that year, in between that. If who can remember all that? But up to 2007, all the way up to now, it's been tweaking. It's been still in between it, in between all that up to 2007 to right now. Still, things had to happen, and now it's clear. This is what it's, look what the next verse says. It says, it just said this. Look, it says, heal the sick, clean the lepers, raise the dead. We've been risen. The dead has been risen. Alright? We've been spiritually risen. This is what's happening. The raise the dead, cast out devils, freely ye have received, freely give. And that goes, see, the apostles, they was given it, they went through vigorous hell to absorb all that madness, that so we didn't have to absorb it. They experienced it firsthand. Now we know what to do with it, because we've been told about it, and then we experienced it. Hey, we had our own issues in our coming into his ministry, and now we know that when you look back, that was not the life, man. This is the life. This is what we do right now. This is what they didn't want. This is what they paid millions of dollars for us not to get. They paid millions of dollars for us not to be doing this, prophesying. See, all that Shook Knight shit and Puff Daddy and Jay-Z shit and all of my rappers is dead now. Biggie, Pac, that's what they want. That's what they want our mindset on that shit. Trying to be a drug dealer, always smoking and all that. That's what they want our mindset on. That's the lost. That's in the outer darkness. That's lost. If you out there in that shit, trying to be in there, you lost. It's like so heal the sick, clean the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils, freely ye have received, freely give. Alright? That was the spiritual that brought that went that direction. But we've been healed, man. We've been cleansed through the living water, the scriptures, man. I'm trying to go too far, but what time we got right there? It always happens, man. It's a lot. Alright, so what I was doing? Yeah, let's go back and read this real fast. We're gonna go back. We're going to read some of this in Wisdom of Solomon. Alright. This is what we're doing, man. Hey, Shook Knight locked up. Everybody else is dwindling down. They serve their purpose. Now they got another purpose to serve. You want to keep your money, you got to push this RFID chip. We shut everything down now. Y'all ain't do a good job. That's what they saying. Yo, this ain't working. This ain't working. We gotta do something. They're waking up. The scriptures prove it. Look what the scripture says. Wisdom of Solomon. We're gonna read all this, alright? And we're gonna bring it home with this. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and have made no account of his labor. Alright, but on slavery, you want us to forget. That's why you try to give briefcases and all that, remember? Alright? When they should see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear. And they are terribly feared. They fear right now, these people that try to pay all this money to these all types of issues from us becoming for us not knowing our nationality. They paid money for us to not know our nationality. Alright? When they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear, and should be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. This is what our salvation is hovering all out there, and they can see it. They see out. There's some satellites looking down. Can you imagine how clear they could see those chariots? When we could just see a light in the sky. They tried to shoot the chariot before. One chariot. I just found out recently that Elon Musk, that was one of his missiles that the chariot shot down. All right. When they should see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear, and they should be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. See, these regular people, everybody, they didn't expect this. The 2/3 didn't even expect it. Nobody's expecting that our strangeness of our salvation, man. They still cannot grab it. They don't. And you know what's crazy? They could sit here in your fucking face and look at you and still don't want you to have with the glory that you saying is going to happen. Right? And they repenting and groaning for anguish of the spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometime in the vision. Yeah, they had us. I keep telling you, they pay millions of dollars to keep us from getting this, man. Millions. They didn't want. They paid. It's so many briefcases that was passed around. Can you imagine? And so much things that was let happen. It's showing itself, man. The Lord gonna reveal it fully to us when we get those spiritual bodies. We're gonna know everything. But right now, it's still broken down. It's gathering all the. This the gathering moment. We're gathering in testimony. In order to have a testimony, we gotta gather the evidence, man. You cannot just say I'm gonna tell on you if you ain't got no evidence. We still in the gathering moment of evidence, gathering the sheep. We gathering evidence, gathering the sheep. It's a serious process. If we're gonna take this man of perdition down, we gotta do our part. And they repented and groaning from anguish of the spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometime in the vision, and a proverb of reproach. Shit, I keep telling you, man, all that shit. Look what's happening to all these rappers now, man. You think this is dying? I'm talking about serious death has happened. Chicago alone, man. We fools account his life madness. Yeah. But now they count out loud. They looking at. It's not over. They scratching. They itching. They clawing. They getting ready. They sharpening the furnishing. They getting their military ready. Cause they gotta stop this. They say they gotta stop. They don't want us to. We get it, they lose it. We fools account this is future. Right now, this verse right here. Look, we fools counted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. He said we gonna get them all. We gonna everything put out. Hey, they about to put all them out. They about to put everything out now. How? This is what they say. Right now, we are counted with the saint. We are counted with Yahweh Shem Shah. We're side by side with Yahweh Shem Shah. We're side by side with Yahweh Shem Shah. Not Yahweh Shem Shah, but we his saints, man. We gonna be joint heirs if we get up out of here. Yahweh is going to dwell within us. He's going to put his power in us, man. And all of you that die for nothing, man. For dollars, for fucking other people trying to take somebody else's woman. People, they dead now, man. Ain't nobody alive that did the crimes, the whatever the fuck was going on back then, man. Now think about it, man. So all types of thoughts running through my head right now, man. Alright, Salaki, I gotta put the video short, man. We fools counted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How? This is what they saying. How does this happen? Everybody said, what the hell are we gonna do now? How are we gonna stop this now? Look at the chariots. They're flying around the sky. We gotta build this space force. We gotta get the missiles. We gotta blow up the moon. We gotta do whatever we gotta do to stop this from happening. How is his number amongst the children of Yahweh Shah? And his lot is amongst the saints. How? Because of the grace of Yahweh Shemel Shah, from the mercy of Yahweh Shemel Shah, for the pardon of Yahweh Shemel Shah, He has given us. He has sent out the gatherers to gather the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which they didn't want us to get, but we got it. Now we got to maintain it. Salakia, all praise and honor and glory of Shemel Shah, the Wadi of Shemel Shah. The Wadi of Shemel Shah for giving us the apostles, a great millstone, the gatherers for Yahweh Shemel Shah. It's amazing. Shalom.